Hello and welcome to Testing Shastra. This is Avinash, and in this session, we are going to talk about the cucumber. So, in the previous session, we had discussion about the BTT, and we have seen that how behavior-driven development actually works. So, in the previous session, we had a discussion that product owner, developer, and tester are going to create one simple text file which will have the uh, description of the feature. Okay, description of the feature, or consider a user story that we have in this file. So in this file, entire behavior is noted down, and this is a simple plain text file. But what Cucumber does in this entire process? So what Cucumber does? So Cucumber usually reads the statements from this file. Okay, and whatever statements we have written in a plain text, it reads all those statements, and it ensures that all statements will be developed using some programming language. So Cucumber can work with 14 different languages. Okay, so you can use Cucumber with Java, Cucumber with Python, Cucumber with C Sharp, and so on. So you name it, there is a support for Cucumber available. So whatever language you are comfortable with, you can use Cucumber with that particular language. So it supports 14 different languages, and Cucumber is an open source library, and the most beautiful advantage of it is free. Okay, you don't have to pay any single penny for this to use. Okay, so Cucumber is a tool which is used to read every feature, every sentence or statement written inside this simple text file, and it makes sure that all these statements are converted into code of respective language. Let's say Java, maybe Python or something like that. So each and every statement will be mapped with some programming statements. Okay, this is what a Cucumber is going to do. So to do so, Cucumber requires a special type of text file, and this file consists some grammatical language, and that grammatical language is called as Gherkin language. Okay, Gherkin language. So whatever statements we are writing in this file have to be following the grammar mentioned in the Gherkin language. As simple as that. Okay, so let us see that how this Gherkin file looks like. So before writing down our very first Gherkin file or Cucumber feature file, let us start installing the Cucumber first. So for that, I am using an Eclipse editor. You can use editor of your choice. So as I told that Cucumber is a simple open source and free library or tool, we can say. So we have to download the jar files required for the Cucumber. So let's say what kind of different jars we require for the Cucumber. So to download the jar files, I'm going to go to the Maven repository. So I'll quickly open the Chrome browser, from where I will write down mvenrepository.com. So here I will go up here and search Cucumber. Okay. So once you search Cucumber, you will see several different options over here. So I'm selecting a Cucumber Java first because I'm going to use Cucumber along with the Java. You can use Cucumber with the Python or something like that. Okay, so you will be requiring a respective library for your respective language. So as I'm using Cucumber with Java, then I'm going for that I'm going to download this Cucumber Java from the io.cucumber package. So let's simply right click and open it in a new tab, and I can see several different options over here. So there are so many versions available for the Cucumber. Okay, you can see a lot of versions are available. So latest while creating this particular video is 5.70 is the latest stable version. But I'm not going to use this one because I want to use this one because it is having higher usage. So 5.5.0 is the version that I'm going to use. So once I go over here, I can see this dependency of the Cucumber. I'll simply copy this. I'll come in the Eclipse, and I already have created this project over here. Okay, I already have created a Maven project over here. I'll go into this pom.xml. Again, in this video, we are not going to discuss about the Maven. Okay, I'm considering that you know about the Maven and how to create a Maven project. Okay, if you don't know, you can consider watching our Maven video. Okay, let's add the dependency here that we copied. under the dependencies tag. So let's create a dependencies tag, and inside this tag we are going to paste the code that we have copied. So I'll simply delete this line, and that's it. So this is the very first jar file we require, okay, and that I have added. Now next, let's go for the other jar file that we require. So I'll simply go up here, and I'm going to execute my Cucumber with the test-ng. Remember, Cucumber cannot execute itself. Okay, to execute the Cucumber, we will require some unit testing framework to execute it, like JUnit, NUnit, or maybe test-ng. So in this example, we are going to execute Cucumber with the test-ng. That is why I will download Cucumber test-ng as well. So I'll search Cucumber test-ng here from here. So can you see from io.cucumber package, again, I'm choosing this file. So I have used Cucumber Java 5.5. Here also I'm going to use the same version library. Make sure the versions are in sync. If you are choosing different version for different libraries, that may create a problem for you. So make sure that all versions are same. Whatever jars you are using, their version should be same. I will mention these dependencies in the description. You can directly copy them from the description. Okay, this is the second jar that we got. The next jar we require is Cucumber core. Cucumber core. Now in this session, we will also cover the usual errors that you get while installing the jars. So not InfoCook I want io.cucumber. So I'll close this one, this one, and come up here. Now I want 5.5.0 of this. Let's copy it and let's paste it up here. Control Shift F and then delete this one. That's it. This is the third jar that I got. Now, as I already have told that we are going to execute Cucumber with the test-ng, then in this case, will be requiring a test-ng also. Jar for the test-ng also. So no matter what version of test-ng you are using, okay, you can use any kind of version of the test-ng to execute the Cucumber. So I'm using 6.1.14.3. Okay, this is the version of test-ng I'm going to install. So let's copy this, come up here and paste it. Okay, so I'm removing the scope from here. Okay, and let's go back and search for Cucumber again. Okay, Cucumber again, and let's see what kind of jar we require furthermore. So I guess we are done with the jar. Okay, that's it. So let's quickly save this file. Once I save this file, it will start downloading the dependencies. So based on your internet speed, it will keep on downloading the jar files mentioned over here. Okay, and your downloaded jar files you can see under the Maven dependencies over here. So if I click on refresh, this project will get refreshed, and here you can see the Maven dependencies that are being downloaded and configured. So meanwhile, we will be requiring the Cucumber plugin for our editor. So I'll simply go up here in the help, and in the Eclipse marketplace, I will search Cucumber. So remember, Cucumber plugin is different thing and Cucumber jar or library is a different thing. Okay, library is usually a .jar file, whereas plugin is for the editor specifically. Jar you can use with IntelliJ also, Eclipse also, STS also, you can use with any editor. But for this editor, we will require the plugin specific to Eclipse only. Okay. So why we need the plugin? Because we want options to execute the Cucumber files. So that is why we require this plugin. Otherwise, we won't see any options to execute the Cucumber feature files. So I'll simply click on install and it will start installing this Cucumber Eclipse plugin. Okay, there are no license, it is saying. And let's click on the finish. Install anyway. That's it. I guess we are done with downloading all the jars required. So you can see those jars over here in the Maven dependency, whatever we have mentioned, all jars have been downloaded and configured with our project. So that's it. Simple. How you can install the Cucumber? You can simply mention the jar dependencies over here in your pom.xml. Okay, and these are different jars that I'm using for a cucumber to work. That's it, simple. So it is asking me to restart the IDE, so let's quickly restart it. So our Eclipse is started. So let's quickly go to the workbench. And here in the workbench, this is the project that we have created. So under this project, we need to create a feature file. So in a Cucumber, this feature file is a simple plain text file which may have English statements or maybe statement from any other language. So you can write down this feature file in English or maybe in Spanish or maybe in Hebrew or maybe in any language you want. Okay, even if you want to write down your test scenarios in Hindi, you can write down that. Okay, so let's quickly create that particular file. So in resources, I'm going to create one new folder over here, and I will call this folder as features. So it's your choice that where you want to create this folder. I'm going to create this folder under the resources. So after creating this folder, in this folder, I'm going to simply create a new file. Okay, and I will call it as first feature dot feature. This is the extension that you need to provide for the Cucumber to work. So let's click on the finish. Once you click on the finish, you can see this green icon over here. Why you are seeing this icon? Because you have installed the plugin. If you don't have the plugin installed or configured correctly, you won't see this icon over here. So this is the simple feature file that Cucumber have provided us directly. Okay, but I don't require this file at all. So I'll simply delete all the contents from here. Okay, simple. Now here Cucumber feature file have to be written in a specific language, and that language is nothing but a Gherkin language, and we have to follow its grammar. So what it grammar says? So it grammar says that its first line should be the feature. Okay, feature is the keyword. Now remember, this is case sensitive. You cannot make it small. Okay, you cannot make a spell mistakes. Feature and then colon. So if you enter the space, then obviously its color will automatically be changed. Feature. So I'm going to write down the name of this feature. As we have discussed in the previous example, then we have seen that our feature was add to cart. Add 5 products to cart. Okay, this is our feature. So under this feature, whatever discussion developer and tester were having, okay, those discussions will be considered as an example. Okay, for example, we have seen that what if the sixth product is added to the cart? This is one example. So in that case, we are going to get an error. What if the user will apply two different promos at the same time? This is the second example. So here examples are considered as scenarios that you want to develop. So here we can write down multiple scenarios that we have discussed in the meeting. Okay, and those scenarios you need to write down using this scenario keyword. Okay, and in front of this scenario keyword, you can write down any English statement, any language statement at all. Actually, Hindi, English, Spanish, Japanese, any kind of language you can use over here. So I can write down the single line or multiple line description of this particular scenario. So what my scenario is going to be? So my scenario is going to be user should not add more than 5 products to the cart. This is the very first scenario that I have. And under this scenario, Cucumber says that you have to write down the steps. So what are the steps you need to follow? So first step will be obviously log into the application. So you cannot write down it in a simple English language, but you can use one keyword over here, and that keyword is called as given. Okay, I will explain about all of those keywords in the coming session, but this is very first samples file that we are going to create over here. Given user logs in the system, logs in into the system. Okay, this is the very first step that we are going to tell. Okay, after that user will add 5 products to the cart. Then is also a keyword mentioned in the Gherkin language. Okay, this is the Gherkin language that we are using over here. So feature, scenario, given, then these are the keywords from the Gherkin language, and we have to obey their rules. So then in front of then we can write then user adds 6 products, or maybe 5 products, adds 5 products to the cart. Okay, till this point there is no problem. Then again, then user adds sixth product. In that case we should be getting an error. Okay, so we'll mention then. So instead of then I can also use when user adds 5 products to the cart. Also I can use and is also one of the Gherkin keyword. Okay, and user adds sixth product, then user will get an error. Okay, this is the very first basic scenario that we have created, what we have discussed in the previous session. Okay, so if you look at this file, this is a simple plain English file. This file will be read by the Cucumber, and Cucumber will insist developer to develop all these statements. Okay, all these statements will be insisted to develop. If developer miss any of this statement, obviously he will going to get an error. Okay, so let's see how it works. So I'll simply right click on this and I will select run as and then Cucumber feature. So remember, we haven't written any Java code so far. Okay, so once I execute this feature file, Cucumber suggests me that, hey man, you haven't implemented all these statements. So consider implementing your statements. So it gives us a skeleton of the implementation. So can you see over here in the console, it have given us the skeleton of the entire statements. So can you see this at the rate given? Okay, this is given, and then user logs in into the system. Can you see this statement over here? And if you observe it, it is nothing but a Java method. Can you see this? It is nothing but a Java method. So what I'm going to do, I'll simply copy this. I'll simply copy this, and after copying it, I will go into the main Java package, and here I'm going to create one more package, and I will call it as step definitions. That's it. Step definitions. This is the package that I'm going to create. Why I am giving this name to this particular package? Because this is the step and its definition is this method. Okay, means whenever this statement will be executed, this method will be executed or invoked in the background. Okay, so once I run this file in the backend, this methods will start executing. So for that, I need to write these methods. I need to implement these methods. So let us create a class over here. I can give any name to this class. Let's say add to cart. Okay, I'll give the class name similar as the feature name. Okay, but that is not an rule. You can give any name. So I'll simply paste whatever code was there in the console. So I'll quickly import all of these annotations from here. Given, when, and then. So whatever Gherkin keywords we have, given, when, then, these are Gherkin keywords. For all of these Gherkin keywords, Cucumber have provided us the annotation with same name. Okay. So these are the simple methods, and each of these method you can see throwing an exception, and it is pending exception. But remember, we are not going to leave this method as pending, so we are going to implement it. So I'll simply delete the exception part from each and every method. Simple. Okay, and I'm simply writing a basic statements over here in this Java files. So first of all, I'm going to write sys out, let's say user is logged into the system. This is a simple message that I'm going to print on the console. Then here user adds how many products. Okay, can you see here it has been automatically parameterized. So we'll talk it about later. Okay, so I'll simply write down sysout and user added how many products plus. Okay, can you see this variable over here? So whatever value will be passed here will be saved inside this int1. 5 sorry 5 products to the cart. That's it, simple. And here also I will write down one sysout statement. Okay, and here I will write user added sixth product in the cart. Okay, that is why the error will be printed, and here I will print an error saying you cannot add more than 5 products in the cart. Why? Because he have added the sixth product. So I'll simply delete this first line and I just want to print this error. Okay, you cannot add more than 5 cards. So obviously here I'm going to verify whether the user got the error or not. So obviously we got the error because we have or let's not write down it here just to avoid the confusion and simply write down sysout user added sixth product to cart, and here I will write int total products. Okay, and this will be set to 0. Okay, once user adds the fifth obviously product, then I will going to write total products equal to int 1 5. Okay, so obviously if the sixth product is going to add it, then obviously we will increment this total products to plus plus. Okay, so it will become 6. So here I'm going to check if total count is greater than 5, then obviously we are going to show an error. Okay, we are going to show an error, and error will say that you cannot add more than 5 products. Okay, that's it. This is the step definition file that we have created. So let's understand the flow. First, we have created dot feature file. Inside this feature file, we have written plain text statements, but using Gherkin language. Okay, and Gherkin language have these keywords: feature, scenario, given, when, and then, like this. And simply I'm going to execute this file right now. So before executing this file, I want to check whether this statement is linked correctly with this method or not. Okay, so how can I do that? So simply hold down the control key and hover on this. So can you see this? It is not linked because it is not allowing us to go jump onto this particular file. Okay, so let's quickly refresh our project. Okay, we are done with that. So let's try to run this. Yeah, it is executed and it's saying that one scenario is executed and one scenario is passed. Okay, and how many steps were there? 4 steps were there, and all 4 steps have been passed. So if you see the breakdown of the entire scenario, it has been printed on this console over here. So user is logged into the system. Okay, given user logs in into the system, this is the step definition that we have written. Then user added 5 products to the cart. Can you see this 5 is passed as an parameter argument? When user adds 5 products to the cart, okay, this is the statement which has been mapped with the step definition. User added 6th product, this is the message that we have given, and here is the error: you cannot add more than 5 products. So consider look over here. Let's observe what happened. So all these different four statements have been implemented as method, and they are linked with one another by means of these annotation as well as this Gherkin keyword. Okay, so they are mapped to one another, and that is why they are pulling. So cucumber is the one who is automatically recognizing the method associated with this statement, and it is automatically executing the method associated with this statement. So this is how the cucumber works. So here consider, if I'm not implementing this last method, then let's see what happens. So I'll simply comment this method. Okay, and let's go up here again and let's execute this. So when I execute this, then you will see that it is saying one scenarios, one undefined, four steps, one step is undefined, whereas three steps are passed. So this step is undefined, so it is asking us to implement the fourth step. So it will not allow us to execute further unless and until we implement all of the statements mentioned over here. So isn't it beautiful that when first you will write down this feature file, so once this feature file is compiled, written successfully by product owner is saying that this file is good, developer is saying good, tester is saying good, and we are okay with the development, and then developer is starting developing this kind of application. So this is how the very first feature we can write down using the cucumber. Okay, if you guys have any questions, queries, please write down them in the comment section. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys.